Good morning to everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce this morning's speaker as part of our Assessment Day activities. We want to thank the Oklahoma Partners in Progress, which Northwestern is a part of, for making this possible. We're also broadcasting to the Enid and Woodward campuses, so welcome to those campus sites. I know everyone will leave here enthused and refreshed after hearing DJ Clay. At the conclusion of his presentation, we'll be giving away a number of his signed books, Make Your Life Epic. Now, as you may know, Northwestern's mission includes developing leaders and entrepreneurs. It seems only fitting to bring to you a motivating speaker who fits both. He is definitely an entrepreneur, as proven through his endeavors as a successful business person, beginning in high school, through college, and to today. His enthusiastic and energetic leadership continues with his various volunteer work. I wonder when this man has time to sleep. DJ Clay Clark founded DJ Connection, one of America's most successful mobile entertainment companies, out of his college dorm room in Tulsa at the age of 18. By the age of 20, Clay was named the Metro Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur of the Year. Clay was also named Oklahoma's 2007 Entrepreneur of the Year by the Small Business Administration. And most recently, in 2009, the U.S. Chamber named Clay to the Blue Ribbon Small Business Award Winner Club, which is a very elite group. When Clay is not sleeping, he also serves as a volunteer with Junior Achievement, an organization dedicated to bringing business people and business owners to the schools of today's youth. DJ Clay is currently writing another book documenting his journey to entrepreneurial success entitled, long title, From the Dorm Room to the Boardroom, an entrepreneur's guide to building a successful small business with a relatively small brain. Please give a hearty Northwestern welcome to DJ Clay Clark.
All right, how's everybody doing? Look, I reserved a lot of space on the stage because I'll need a lot of personal space, so I've got that. The purpose of being here today, I hope you guys, I'll just throw that on the floor. But the reason why I'm here today is not so much to talk about me, it's to encourage you guys about the power and the opportunity that you have. And I know a lot of times I get introduced as a motivational speaker, as a speaker. I'm more of a business person that happens to be successful, so now people want to hear me speak, but I'm not a guy who, decided, hey, let's speak about this. Because I think you guys are all good speakers too, so congratulations to all of you for being good speakers as well. But what I wanted to focus on today, and the topic of today, is you. It's not about me. So I'd like you to take a second. If you have a writing device, maybe an Etch-a-Sketch, maybe a pencil, maybe a crayon, maybe some type of, I don't know, use your own blood, whatever you have. If you don't have something, just remember it, okay? I'd like you to write down on the top of your sheet of paper what you want to do as a career. What you want to do as a career. Just write it down. What is your career that you want to do? And please don't write something generic like, I want to work with, bilateral committee to make world peace possible, have a good family. Don't write that. You know what I mean? Write something specific. I would like to do, I don't know what that is. Write it down. Write down specifically, I would like to be a veterinarian. I would like to play baseball. I would like to coach baseball. I would like to live in a van down by the river. Whatever it is that you want to do, write that down so that you are going to hold yourself accountable to that. Okay? So write down what you want to do. Point two, I'd like you to write down why you want to do that. Case in point, if you wrote, I would like to work as an engineer, not because I enjoy engineering, but because I want to make a lot of money, that's a party foul. I promise you will not be happy if you do that. Because you cannot exchange your time for compensation and feel good about your life. It doesn't happen. You have to exchange your time for your passion. And if you do that, you'll always be happy and you'll always make more money than everybody else. Right? If you're passionate about snow cones and you're working in the snow cone stand, Is it safe to say you might outsell the guy next to you who doesn't like snow cones? You know, if you like Target and you only shop at Target, would it be safe to say that you run the electronics department more efficiently than the person who doesn't like Target, doesn't shop there, but happens to work there? If you're the guy who works for Toyota but drives an American car or vice versa, same thing. You don't have any dissonance there. So write down why it is that you want to do it. And then the third thing before we get going is I would like you to write down the amount of compensation that you feel that you are worth or that you deserve or that you would like to make by the end of today's discussion, that you'd like to have determined how to make that much money. That's my goal, is to help you learn how to make that much money, whatever you write down, by the end of today's discussion. Okay, so if you think you're worth $50,000 a year, please write that down. Just take a second, marinate on it. Is it $100,000? Is it $20,000? Because what's going to happen is, eventually, you're 18, 19. How many people in this room are 20 years old or younger? 20 years old or younger. Okay? You guys are in great company. You know, Larry and Sergey started the Google, your age. Bill Gates, your age. DJ Connection started, your age, and younger. So what happens is, eventually a customer calls and says, you know, I've got some of your marketing material. I would like to go ahead and hire you. And here's the problem. If you, on that piece of paper, wrote down that you want to make $50,000 per year, you'll go ahead and book yourself at the rate of $400 a night, which means that you'll do 2 of those a week, which means that magically you will not make more than what you wrote down. But if your goal is to make $100,000 a year, the first customer calls and how much do you charge? You said, I am the best and the most humble, therefore I charge $1,000, and here's what I do to justify that value, and now you're making $100,000 a year. And my problem starting out is I aimed low and I overachieved. You know, I had that philosophy of aiming as low as possible, and I would say generic goals for myself like, well, as long as I'm somewhat successful and I can feed my family, I feel pretty happy. And I didn't really have any specific goals. Now my goals are very specific, and I find that I achieve those goals. So if you can just write down a specific dollar amount that you want to make. Now, one thing I want everybody to think about today is the economic recession that we're all facing. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news here in Alva. Is Alva booming with the recession, or are we struggling a little bit, or how's it going? Is it, what do we know? Is it being affected by the economy too much? A little bit? Now, with the recession going on, there's kind of this gloom and doom kind of aura going on right now. It's an economic cycle. Anybody here who's studied history? There's about 7% of Americans that won't work even if you pay them. According to USA Today, I didn't make that up. 7% of Americans won't work even if you pay them. So our unemployment rate's 7%. So I look at it like, fine, now they got their wish. Okay? Now, the next 7%, that'll be kind of painful. But the guys that didn't want a job, I'm okay to let them go. Okay? So we're not that bad of a time. But what are the benefits that we have right now sitting in this classroom? Okay, what are the benefits that you have? Benefit one you have, if you're jotting these down, is technology. We have technology. It's unbelievable. You can sit here in a classroom today at Alva and market a company throughout the world using the Google. Now, why would you want to? There's a company that makes a product called polyurea. It's a polymer. Does anybody here, I don't know if you know what polymers are, but polymers are a plastic and metal kind of a hybrid. It's a polymer now that keeps bridges from corroding. This company serves the whole world, and it's based in Wagner, Oklahoma. Why do you think it's in Wagner, Oklahoma, not the tourism capital? Property taxes are low. Labor is affordable. You know, you pay a guy in New York City $30,000 a year, he's going to have to live in a closet. You know? You pay a guy $30,000 a year, he's got a pretty decent thing. So, the labor costs are low, the property taxes are low. So you have to look at what Alva offers you. If you want to stay in Alva, there's unbelievable opportunity in Alva. Just use the Google, courtesy of Al Gore, to market your product throughout the world. You'll be all right. Yeah, Al Gore invented that, so it is right there. All right. But the thing is, you can use that, you can benefit from that. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you guys the principles, in my opinion, needed to get this business off the ground. So, principle number one here for you. I want you to write this down. Starting right now, reputation plus your education equals your compensation. And this is not my creative rhyme. Andrew Carnegie came up with it. And he's the world's wealthiest man. What does that mean? Education plus your reputation equals your compensation. What does that mean to you? If you show up, if you're in college right now, and you're the guy who the teacher goes, oh, that's the guy who always comes in late. Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy who dresses like he's trying out for a rap group. You know, he's trying out for the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, if you're that guy, I'm telling you, not too many teachers are going to want to write you a letter of recommendation if you look like you're trying out for the Wu-Tang Clan or something like that. So make sure that you have the reputation. What does that mean on a practical level? Show up early. Stay late. Ask your teacher questions. Occasionally, bring her a power bar. Or him a power bar. Teachers, tell me. I mean, suck-ups. I mean, you call them suck-ups. Do we like suck-ups? The employee who gets there early, stays late, brings me coffee? I love that guy. He's a co-owner of the business now. Seriously. Not even kidding. A guy, he came from Tahlequah. He's working in a video store, making, doing something with the videos there, working at a grocery store. And he got there early, stayed late, learned the whole system, and now he's a co-owner of the business. It had nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that he was early to build that, eager to build that reputation. The second thing, the second principle you have to adhere to in order to get your business off the ground, assuming that you have a reputation, and assuming that you are now wanting to make some compensation, the education part. What does that mean? You have to learn a skill. I'd like you to write that down, circle it, start, highlight it, maybe make some kind of flavor or smell on it so refine it. I don't know, do something. Okay? You have to have a skill. If you graduate from this university without a discernible skill, that is a party foul. Is it possible to have 3 years of Spanish and to get a B and not know any Spanish? Yes, I have done it. I have had Spanish classes. I don't know any Spanish. But is it possible to go through a class and just get the least amount of information possible? I mean, is it possible just to come up with this game where you memorize the answers for the test and then you move on to the next test and you just get good at memorizing? Yeah, you can. Is it also possible to learn a skill while you're here? Yes. So again, your education, when I say education, Thomas Edison says knowledge without application is meaningless. So I'm talking about applicable knowledge, real deal stuff you can actually apply today. Moving along here. Step 2. I need you to determine right now that success is a choice. Now here's the double-edged sword of success is a choice. And by the way, Rockefeller said that. I didn't say it. I have no original comments. I just quoted it. Okay? Success is a choice. I'm a big reader, so these books inspire me. But what does that mean? What it means is that if I wanted to start a DJ business and I'm going to Oral Roberts University, how many people really care whether I'm successful? Honestly, how many people really care? I got my dad, I think half the time he's right here. And half the time, I got my mom. My roommate just wants me to get out of the dorm room so he can have his, I actually made him convert his bed. It's really funny, when I leased his dorm room space from him, I paid him $100 a month to use his bed as a studio space, seriously. But under that situation, there's very few people cheering for you. So what I'm telling you is the hard fact about capitalism is that nobody cares whether you're successful or not other than you and your small circle of friends. So you have to decide to succeed. You have to decide. So whatever that amount is that you wrote down today that you need to make per year, if you are not willing to get there early and to stay there late to your own business, who's going to encourage you? That's the question. And I don't know, by show of hands, who here has known somebody who had a small business who was profoundly unsuccessful? By show of hands, profoundly. I mean, this guy, he had the business plan, he had the loan, he had the ear. Okay? Ear, that's the sound it makes when you implode. Ear. Okay? Why is that? Well, when you have a small business, everyone says you don't want a boss, I don't want a boss, we all don't want a boss. But when you're a self-employed person, you have to be willing to be your own boss and make yourself get there early and stay there late. You have to decide that you're going to do that. The second thing here, okay, this is the second step for the next step here. It says, Robert Kiyosaki says, working to learn, not to earn. Working to learn, not to earn. Is it possible that you can get a job offer? Does anybody here have a job offer already out of college? You already have a job offer? You already have one that's, you've already been offered the job? What happens is when you get offered jobs, look for the one with the most opportunity, not the one with the biggest paycheck. Because think about it from a cruel capitalistic perspective. Let's say that you know a guy who owns a DJ service. And I know that I can get you to agree to get paid $50,000 a year and you're a sales machine, right? Wouldn't it be a good bet for me to pay you $50,000 a year knowing that you can generate close to $500,000 of business yourself and you're capped out at $50,000? Isn't that a sweet deal? Where if you came in and said, hey, I'd like 10% of all sales, and I'd be happy to start off with a low salary of 0. 10% of all sales. Wouldn't that be a better deal for you long term? And the guy who's the co-owner, that's what he did. He said, I'll be willing to work for 3% of all the DJ revenue. I realize you're not hiring right now. I will come to work for free every day just to learn. 3% is all I'm asking for. And so now 3% of, well over $1 million is pretty great in addition to direct compensation. So I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Look for a situation where you can work to learn, not just to earn. The next step here is that you have got to understand the financial realities. Now, I'm going to give you some fun facts here. So some financial realities, you can write this down here. Financial reality number one. Where do you think most Americans lose their income to? Where does it go? We're in a financial crisis. What's the thing we've discovered? Just kind of ask yourself rhetorically. Anybody want to shout out where our money went? Anybody know? Stock market? Housing market? Anybody else? Casino. Okay, anybody else have a thought?
McDonald's.
McDonald's? Okay, I feel you on that one. That's a good investment. A good investment. Okay. It's not just a meal. It's an investment. Okay. What else? Anybody else have an idea of where the money went? Credit card. I'm going to give you some facts that are going to freak you out, but they're true. Fact number one. Americans, on average, refinance every 3 years. Every 3 years. 3. Trace. The last span is 3 years. There it is. Okay. 3 years. Every 3 years. Well, somebody explain to me the amortization chart. Does anybody know an amortization chart? Right? You have it's kind of a bell curve. The first 30 years. Okay, you have the 30-year mortgage. The first 3 years, do you pay any principal? Somebody? No. Do you pay any the next year? Negative. Next year, negative, 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 nothing. Only like the last 5 years where you're really putting it in. Anybody here in the final step of your 30-year loan, in the final 5 years? No one is, because everyone refinances every 3 years. Okay, but seriously, I never have anybody say yes. Okay, so what happens is you're paying interest the whole time. So then you get a little statement in the mail, oh, your property value's gone up. Oh, great, we should buy a boat. Right? So we refinance again. Okay, so the reality is Americans refinance every 3 years, but here's the next reality. Americans spend 80% of their income on interest and taxes. 80%. There's like 82 point whatever percent, and according to this U.S. News, 82 point, how can you build any wealth at all if you're spending 80% of your income on taxes and on interest? Is that kind of disturbing to you guys? Does it freak you out a little bit? But the problem is that no one shares this information, so what happens is you're in college, you graduate, you get a job, you're making 40 grand a year, and you go, where'd it go? I know I went to McDonald's. I went with those 4 guys to McDonald's multiple times. And then I don't remember what else happened, but I somehow don't have any money left. And I don't own my car. I'm just renting it from the bank, and I'm renting my house from the bank too. And now it's time to move, and I can't sell it. Okay? So financial reality 1, 80% of your money is going to interest and tax. Do not do that. Reality number 2, people refinance every 3 years. Reality number 3, this is a really fun one for you. Close to 85% of all American millionaires today were built in 1 generation. So that's some positive news for you. 1 generation. Of those people, has anybody read The Millionaire Next Door? It's a book that studies millionaires, what they do. It's a college study. It's basically a case study. They follow these people around, and I'm sure they stalk them, they dig through their trash, whatever. And they find out what they do. They found out that most American millionaires save 20% of all their income. No matter how much they're making, 20% of all their income goes into savings. So think about that. Everybody else over here is just getting their butt kicked by taxes and interest. And then you got these people, 1 generation, they're starting from nothing and building millions. More than 80% of all the millionaires we have are doing this, and they're saving 20%, which would lead you to believe what? Saving 20% might have something to do with it, right? Because think about it. If you have a book that you want to write, anybody here have like a book you want to write, or a good idea, or a new product you want to release? If you don't have any money to market it, it doesn't matter. Am I right? Right? I mean, if you don't have any money, you don't know anybody who has any money, and you can't get connected, your idea is just going to sit there on your desktop and fade away after a few years after you refresh your desktop and your computer crashes. Okay? So you want to have the money available. So I'm saying is starting today, when you earn, I want you to face the reality and going, hey, most Americans do this, therefore I'm not going to do this. So starting today, I'm going to save 20% of my income. No matter how much it is, even if that means I cannot go out to the movies as often. Save it. And over time, you'll find yourself being 22, 23 like I was, and now your friends they have a car payment, they got a house payment, different things. I didn't. And I'm just building my business, building my business, building my business. Well, then I'm 27, I'm winning some awards, making some good money, and now they're going, how is it possible that you're making so much money? Like, well, because I've been buying DJ gear since age 18, and you've been buying interest payments to the bank. Hopefully they give you a receipt so you can write that off and feel good about it. Right? Because that's what the bank tells you. It's kind of this game. They say, well, it's deductible. You know? I'm just telling you, be careful. Do not do these things, okay? Moving along here. All right. Henry Ford moves forward. Henry Ford says, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. So assuming that you're saving, he's saying if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. What does that mean? It means that when I married my wife, she has lived in a home where granite countertops are the reality. Wood floors, ladies know what I'm talking about. You know, ladies like the granite, they like the wood. Dudes are like, well, we'll throw it on the coffee table. I've got that one from college. Can't we use that? It has personality, baby. I've had it for 10 years. Look at this thing. It's got some initials from some guy I used to know. Look at that. And what happens is that my wife, though, had already conceived it. She'd already been there, so she would not accept any other reality. It's like we're getting granite, we're getting wood, granite. I will put up with this for a while, but wood, granite, wood, granite, wood, granite. And then, voila, wood and granite. Okay? But I had never been able to conceive it. I had never even thought about it. I never even knew it was reality, so I would not even know what I'm missing out. You see what I'm saying? Like if you haven't been fed McDonald's, you don't know anything else exists. Not that I'm dissing McDonald's, guys. I love it. I love it. It's a good investment. You want to invest in it. But what I'm saying is that you want to be able to, so how do you do that? I encourage you to read books about people that are profoundly successful, study their life, and then just do what they do. Because if they've done these things to be successful, the chances are if you do the same things, it'll happen. Sir Isaac Newton says, if I've seen further, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants. What is he talking about? Okay, think about Windows. Who here has a Mac? Mac? Okay, Mac. You guys are hardcore about Macs too. I respect that. Every Mac user is Mac. It's my name. Mac. Change my name to Mac. Okay, Macs. Windows. Why did Windows beat Mac? What happened there? Easier to use, more popular. Okay. Did Bill Gates invent the operating system? You know, if you study this stuff, he didn't really invent it. All he did was took an existing idea that Jobs kept working on and crafting, and he kept being like, it's not ready yet. We got to keep testing it. Bill Gates took that product, bam, went to the market with it. All sorts of errors and bugs, but it worked better than what you had. And we just kept fixing it, and here he is. Now he's still ultra successful. But what he was able to do is he was able to take this product and get that product out to people and just get that platform out there and get that information out to people in a quick way. He wasn't worried about taking that product and trying to refine it and fine-tune it and make sure, you know, he wanted to get it out to people. Once he got it out to people, then he could go ahead and refine that product. And I would just encourage you guys with your idea, the entrepreneurship ideas that you have, you're not going to be 100% right when you launch it. You're probably going to be 70% right. It's okay. Ready? Fire, then aim. Ready? Fire, then aim. Ready? Fire, aim. That's what you do. That's how an entrepreneur is. If you ready, aim, fire, you'll never get going. Okay? Will you lose some money? Oh yeah. Will you get sued? Oh yeah. Have I been audited? Yes. I love those people. Eugenie is her name. She spent a lot of time in her house. Love Eugenie. Okay? But if you don't ready, fire, aim, you're never going to get going. You know what I'm saying? It took Apple forever to get successful. And now they are, right? And now people are recognizing them as superior, as a superior format. But it took a long time to get them out there. The whole time Bill Gates has been rocking and rolling. So, ready, fire, aim. Make sure you get that going. The next thing I want you guys to jot down, it says, a goal is a dream with a deadline. A goal is a dream with a deadline. What do I mean by that? Here's a true example. When I booked my first wedding package, how many systems do you think that I actually owned? 0. All right? So I meet with brides and grooms about planning their wedding and scheduling the service. I had even pictures of it. I made a presentation folder with pictures of the equipment that I believed in faith in the future I would own. I'm telling you these secrets of the entrepreneur because these kind of things, for some reason, people are like, I don't want to say that, I get in trouble. I'm telling you because I want to be real with you because you're in college, I was in college, that's how it goes. So I got this presentation for it at Keynote. It looks really slick. I got business cards. I have a website. It's not up yet, but I got the website. You know, I got all this stuff going. You want, meet with the bride and groom. And by the way, I'm not making this up for convenience. I met with the couple because I was a moron. I met with them at McDonald's. True story. True story. I didn't go to like Starbucks or Panera, any place with any decorum with class. I went to McDonald's. That was what I was thinking. But again, I hadn't seen granite countertops yet. Okay? So, anyway, so I'm over there at McDonald's meeting with this couple. I'm booking this package. They booked the package for $600. I charge them a $150 deposit. I'm thinking, well, your wedding's in June and it's January. That's a deadline. All right? So take the $150, put it in the thing. I said, by the way, guys, if you went ahead and paid it full up front, we give you $150 off this. Really? Yeah, boom. So I get $500. Okay, awesome. Next one. Keep doing this. But by about April, I'm starting to get stressed. Because I'm working on Target, working at Applebee's and Target, and I worked in tax and accounting software, and I was going to college, and wasn't sleeping, having all sorts of probably emotional breakdowns. But I was working, working, trying to clone myself, and making as much money as possible at the low rate of like $7 an hour. That's about all the skill you have when you're that age, Especially when you're a DJ. Everyone who thinks you're a DJ, we have no really discernible skills. We're just DJs. There's millions of us. DJs everywhere. We're not really. So anyway, I'm out there doing the DJ thing. About May, now I'm going, oh man, I got to get this gear. And at that point, it occurred to me, I need to order the gear. And then at that point, then I bought the gear, and I didn't have the full amount of money, so I put it on a credit card, no interest, no payments, for like 6 months, and I knew I had enough events coming in between May and July to pay for that credit card, right? So I put it on the credit card, did these weddings, hit a home run on all the weddings, showed up early, stayed late, compensated for the fact that I was not great. Okay? Show up early, stay late, compensate for the fact that you're not great. You can write that down, it rhymes, it's wonderful, it's tricky. Thought it took like weeks to come up with it. But that's what I do. That's my move, by the way. If you don't know what you're doing, just show up early, stay late, make up for the fact that you're not great yet. Graphic designer, you don't know what you're doing, early, late, you'll be okay. Alright? So, I'm doing this whole thing, getting there early, staying there late. Then I'm starting to pay for the gear, then it happens. But what could I have done? I could have waited until I had the actual physical gear, right? And then once I owned the gear, I could have also maybe never booked a wedding, and now I own that gear. This is the problem with most small business owners. We make the business plan, we buy the shop, we lease the office space, we have the small business loan, but we don't have any customers. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have any customers. And is anybody here in a class when you design a business plan? Anybody have these classes yet? No? No? Okay, you've had? Okay. With the business plan, you get all the new nuances working. You make a pie chart on yours that shows your distribution of your revenue. You make a pie chart. No pie charts. Oh, you missed out. Okay, but anyway, you got the pie chart, the spreadsheet, the cash flow. But what's the thing it's missing to make it real? Customers. What do you have to do to get customers? Success is a choice, no one cares. What do you have to do to round up DJ customers? What do you have to do? On a practical level, what do you have to do? Dial and smile, dial and smile, dial and smile, dial and smile. Call them all, dial and smile. Here we go, guys. Dial and smile all day. And then once you dial and smile enough, you have like another guy. I hired this guy, Garrett. Why? Because he was cheap, and I knew him from high school class I taught him. Like, Garrett, you're the man. You're coming on, you're dialing and smiling. That's your gift. I believe in you. I believe in the dream. Yes, we can. Let's do this. Dial and smile. Dial and smile. Dial and smile. We're going, this is a great, it's repetitive, okay? Then we start playing some R&B music, get the good flow going. We get 3 or 4 guys. Pretty soon there's 50 guys. Dial and smile. Then we're winning some awards. Dial and smile, dial and smile. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not too concerned about getting hung up on, getting rejected. It's okay. Because that's what you have to do to market the thing when you don't have any money. So I'm just telling you, if you want to start a business, you've got to understand. If you leave here today and you go, I do want to start a business, please understand that the business plan is awesome, but if you don't have any customers, it does not matter. And so you've got to find a way to get into their world, to get where they're at. Okay? So, moving along here. The next principle I can write down, and this is contrary to all things you've been told, but I'm just going to tell it to you. Andrew Carnegie says, I'm going to jot this down, it says, put all of your eggs in one basket. Again, I repeat, put all of your eggs in one basket. And see that no one kicks over the basket. Put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure no one kicks over the basket. Let's look at Deion Sanders. Anybody know who Deion Sanders was? Baseball, football player. Could it be safe to say that he was a above-average baseball player? an above average football player, but he was not profoundly great at either one because he wouldn't focus. You know, would it be safe to say that Shaq is probably not the best rapper? Would it be safe to say that, you know, we can go on and on with examples, but the point is you do one thing, you do it better than anybody else, and you're going to get paid. Southwest Airlines, where do they fly? 737s. Why do they not fly 747s? 757s. American Eagle planes. Why are they not getting hammered in the market? Because they do one thing. 737s, low cost, on time, you won't lose your stuff, no fees, Southwest, here we are. What's going on with American? We do 757s, 727s, small planes. We'll even push you in a cart. We've got a maintenance department for that. They're standing by on a union contract waiting for you to break the cart. Okay? So, they're not able to compete because they don't have a skill niche. They don't have anything they do. Quick Trip gas stations. Do you have a Quick Trip gas station anywhere near here at all? Quick Trip, they're in Tulsa, they're huge. They're incredible. Quick Trip gas stations, hyper profitable. Why? They do one thing. They're a convenience store. They're not getting into like various other industries that are niche. But have you ever been into that convenience store where it's also a movie rental place, / haircutting salon, / Jiffy Lube, / I have some of these posters that I got. You want to buy them? / guys on cell phone while you're checking out, / there's a Subway restaurant there that's maybe not a Subway. It's like Sub, and like a little generic kind of name on it, you know, and you're kind of freaked out. Are you confident in that? No! Are you confident in Subway? Yes, it's consistent, it's one thing, it's awesome. The problem is, you graduate from college, and I'm not ripping on the education system, but I'm saying you graduate from college and you're so focused on, I'm going to get a job, but at no point are you focused on your passion, which we talked about at the beginning. So now you're trying to do your job, but meanwhile you're also trying to do your passion. You feel me? So now you're at your work, you're at your job, and your boss is like, home skillet, are you on the phone with a customer not related to this job? No, I was just talking to my mom. Bye, Mary. I'll call you later tonight to book that deal. I mean, I know. And that's what you're doing. And you're trying to do a business and a thing. If you just focus on one thing, I promise you'll either be prolifically unsuccessful or successful. You're going to be one or the other. Okay, you're going to either bomb or you're going to be at the top. But I choose to think you're going to be at the top because the fear of failure is so great and the fear of starvation is pretty huge too. So that's why I was successful. You know, I went to college at ORU, fun story. I wrote a parody song about Richard Roberts. Anybody know Richard Roberts? Put your hands on the screen. Okay. Anyway, I wrote a parody about him and I got kicked out of college for writing the parody. Well, that all of a sudden made me a full-time DJ. Right? I'm like, hey, I got promoted, this is great. So I'm a full-time DJ. Well, my dad, you know, and mom, they kind of helped me move to this apartment. I'm there, no money, no income, no nothing. Now I've got to be a full-time DJ. Then I really started dialing and smiling, and I didn't look back because I didn't have a way to go back. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. So don't write parodies about Richard Roberts. That's not the point. The point is for you to go into one direction and to put all your eggs in that basket, knowing that you're not going to look back until you're Mike Piazza, you're a 28-year-old catcher, and you're just now getting into the pros. That's what I'm talking about. 28-year-old man just now making it. Okay? So I want you to focus on one thing. Anybody know the story of Lenny Kravitz? Lenny Kravitz, you know, musician? He lived in a car for 2 years because he couldn't afford to send out demos every day and pay rent. So he chose to live in a car. True story. You know, LeBron James, high school, winter, coach concerned, our star player's missing, where's he at? He's shooting free throws in the cold, he sweeped off the hoop there, he sweeped off the concrete. That's what his coach said. He sweeped off a playground by himself and was out there shooting hoops in the winter, and that's when I knew he was going to be the best. He's on one thing. LeBron quit the football team to focus on that. You got to focus on one thing. Throw your eggs in one basket. Okay, next thing here is you must practically educate yourself. Practically educate yourself regardless of accessibility to formal education. What am I talking about? What does that mean to you? Anybody here know anything about Six Sigma? Six Sigma? What is Six Sigma? It's a, can you explain what Six Sigma is, sir?
It's a way to work through a process systematically so that you're most efficient, most effective.
Yeah, what it is, it's like a map for your business, you know? So, crude example, at Subway, what is the workflow for Subway? First question is, what kind of bread do you want, right? The next question is, what kind of meat do you want? What kind of veggies do you want? Do you see how that's genius? If they were to say, whatever, just ask people whatever. You'd be walking in and be like, hey, what kind of meat do you want? And then they're getting their meat out. And then what kind of lettuce do you want? Well, lettuce? What do you mean? You only have one kind. Oh, yeah, sorry. And it would be just random. But they've got a system in place, which is why Subway is duplicatable processes. Well, once I got the DJ business to a certain point, there was no duplicatable processes. I created this system that was reliant on me, no duplication, it's just me. So every time there's a sales call, they're like, what should I quote? I'm like, well, based on this, based on that, based on this, quote this. Up to the point where I was quoting 2,000 people a year, individual estimates. And it came to me like a vision. My wife said, honey, I need you to be home occasionally. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm like, guys, I have to be home occasionally, so we're going to have to come up with a pricing structure. What do you think? It's like, you're a genius, man. You know? What will the pricing structure be, Moses of DJing? You know, I'm like, oh. So we'll come up with, you know, you make a system. And over time, that system is, hey, now how do I make the system? I got Jack Welch's book, Straight from the Gut, read about Six Sigma, implemented it, and then last year we won the National Quality Award from the U.S. Chamber for Six Sigma-like processes. Have I gone to college for Six Sigma? No. Do I have a degree in Six Sigma? No. Am I a black belt Six Sigma trainer? That's actually what they call people that are Six Sigma trained, black belts. No. No ninja moves here. But I read a book, circled it, highlighted it, made it happen at the office. Bada bing, bada boom, win some awards, make some money. That's how you do it. Okay? Abraham Lincoln, by the way, didn't graduate from college. He made it all right, but he read a lot of books. So you got to educate yourself. All right? The next thing I want you to realize, and this is one of the final things I want to hit on for you, is you have to have unyielding faith. Unyielding faith. I realize I'm at a college, so I'm not getting too spiritual with you, but if you don't believe in you, who does? I'm telling you, I'm looking at you guys all right now, every single one of you has what it takes to make something happen. Because I personally believe that God put you here for a reason with a certain skill set and a talent. There's something unique you have. There's some quirk you have. There's some weird idiosyncrasy that makes you funny. There's something you do that makes you great. There's something, everyone has something. You've got to find a way to take that passion and make profits doing it. You have to find a way to do that. You've got to find a way to do that. When you're growing up in 3rd grade, the teacher says, what do you want to do when you grow up? How many people said, I'd like to be a middle manager, you know, for like a company that's marginally successful and maybe get health insurance? Great, Bobby. That's awesome. Susie, what do you want to do? Well, I want to be an astronaut. Really, Susie, that's lame. You don't get health benefits. Who cares about health benefits? You're 18, you're 19, go get them. You know, you're 21, go get them. Pursue your passion. You're into artwork, make some artwork. Let's go, let's do it. You know, let's leave here, let's do it. You're into poetry, let's write it, let's make it happen. You want to design some kind of system that makes some new technology possible, do it. Larry and Sergey did it in a college dorm room. They invented Google in a college dorm room using stolen computer parts. Don't steal, but they did. Okay? You can do it. But I'm telling you, the moment that you put your passion over here, because you don't have enough faith in your natural ability or your belief system, you put your over here, you are always going to kind of look back and go, what if? And then you're never going to get there. Okay? I'm going to leave you with one final story I want to give you. Does anybody here know the group One Republic? One Republic? They're kind of a rock group here. Okay, they've sold about 3 million copies worldwide. The guy is in that group. The guy is the lead singer. I went to college with him and he DJed for us just for a while. He left ORU, went to work for Denny's, has a college degree, works at Denny's. Why? Because he was working for free for Industrial Light and Magic. Why do you think he had to work for free? Because if no one wants to hire you, that's about all you're worth. So I'm telling you, if you want to go work and study, if you want to be a comedian, you're sitting here, I want to be a comedian. Call Steve Martin up, show up at his house, I'll work for free. I'll work at Denny's at night. You go, that's crazy, you're exaggerating. That's what Steven Spielberg did. He just showed up and worked for free. Just show up and work for free. Orion's working for free, working for free. Pretty soon a guy by the name of Timbaland comes in and says, hey, we need a guy to do some background vocals. Would you be willing to do it? Mics him up. Wow, you're good. People now say Ryan got lucky. You know, he was there every day for years. Okay? Then, a guy by the name of Keith Urban says, hey, I have this song, You're Everything I'm working on. Could you help me kind of write out some of the melodies? Ryan does it. Then Kelly Clarkson. Then Clay Aiken, On My Way Here. He wrote that song. Bleeding Love by Leon Lewis. He wrote that song. Then American Idol said, hey, we'd like you to come be a judge for... He's on there. Pretty soon now, Ryan is writing songs for... he has a new Tupac song coming out, even though Tupac has been dead for a while. He's still writing new stuff, apparently. All right? He's got a new song with Kelly Clarkson coming out. But I mean, the guy had 5 or 6 years of absolute hell he was willing to put up with to get to where he wanted. And now he travels around the world in a tour bus. He and his wife see the whole world. They're in Japan, they're in Singapore, they're everywhere. And people are like, how'd you get there? It's because he was willing to work for free and pursue his passion as opposed to exchanging his passion for a paycheck. The moment you put your passion aside and take the paycheck, it's the moment it is. All right? So I don't want to demotivate you, I want to motivate you, but I'm telling you, you guys all have a unique passion. Is there any questions that you guys have here so far that occurred to you from your perspective or any thoughts here? One little caveat I wanted to interject here before we wind up is that failure is a prerequisite to success. And when you start your business, failure is that prerequisite to success that you will need. You're going to fail. And when you fail, behind every failure there's a seed of an equivalent benefit. There's a life lesson there. There's something. So when you get sued, guess what you do? You know, maybe we should get some insurance for that, huh? You know, the first time you have a DJ that is supposed to show up for a wedding and the bride calls 45 minutes before she comes down the aisle and says the DJ is not there. After you want to kill that person, which you didn't, but you wanted to. Then you come up with a backup DJ schedule. You go out and do the event, now you pull an all-nighter, you don't get any sleep for 2 days, you cover for them and stuff, you fire them, you know. Then you come up with a plan, you say, henceforth, all of our load-ups will be before 10 in the morning, and we will have a backup on call. So if anybody doesn't show up before 10, we've got it fixed. You know, but you have to fail in order to succeed, otherwise you won't learn. So I know in college it's really important to get A's and B's, but in business it's important to get D's and F's and just learn from them. Just get a D and F, apologize, you know, make it right, refund them, you know, grovel, do a lot of grovel, beat yourself up a little bit, then get up and do it again. And just keep going. After about 5 years, you'll win a few awards, and then you get paid, and people ask you to come speak to you. So you can do it. But anyway, I want to leave you guys. We have a book I wrote. It's called From the Dorm Room to the Boardroom. And I don't have any more copies because apparently we've sold the ones we had this morning. But when I was in college, one of the issues that I had is that professors had some really great stuff. But I kept thinking about, well, how do I take the Byzantine Empire and make it practical right now? I mean, I'm totally down with papyrus and cuneiform, and I know the Egyptians are very important. I do. But other than that, how can I apply it? So when I got to kind of the top of the business success with some of the awards, I had a lot of people asking for it. So we wrote a book that kind of documents, assuming you're in your dorm room and you want to start a business and you have no money, you're not alone. And it's a book that kind of walks you through how to do that, the step-by-step process, and it makes fun of me a lot because it tells you all the things not to do, which I'm the Lord of. I'm the Lord of not to do things. So anyway, if you guys would like to pre-order a copy, we have those. If you have any questions, I will be available. And if you guys want to leave with the message, you guys can do it. Please follow your passion. Follow your passion so that you will not be a disgruntled human that I'm waiting behind at the UPS Postal Service the other day. Okay. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Complimentary of the Follett Bookstore. Where did you go? There you are. I would like to give you a Northwestern t-shirt, so you are a full-fledged Ranger.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. When you came in, you should have gotten a ticket or a coupon, and we're going to be drawing for those for, I think, 20 of them. So if you want to hang around, we're going to start calling out numbers, and then if you got that number, just come on down. Okay, I'm going to read the last 4 numbers. 3449. 3449.
Oh, yeah.
Just come on down. If somebody can help hand out. 3490. 3490. 3449. 3451. 3451. 3486. 3486. 3494. 3494. 3445. 3445. 3479. 3479. 3468. 3468. 3459. 3459. 3458. 3458. 3457. 3466. 3466. 3484. 3484. 3423. 3423. 3472. That's 3472. 3480. Woo! Yay! Come on down. 3480. 3424. 3424. 3426. 3426. 3488. 3488. And the last one, 3421. 3421. Thank you all for coming. And I believe at 11:30 starts the lunch out in the Coronado Hall area. And have a nice day.